So as much information as I give you on individuals you should not stay away from, etc., etc., I like to believe that my channel could be a channel for any and everyone to come and get some information, to come and escape, to just come and feel like themselves. And I know I tell a lot of people all the time, things don't entertain certain groups of men, or why certain groups of individuals are just not good for you. But I truly believe that everyone has a heart, everyone deserves happiness, everyone can achieve happiness. And if I can help, even if it's one person, get to a better place within themselves where they are not hurting, where they are not hiding, where they are not afraid to live in their truth, then I'm doing my job. So with that being said, I want to do a little bit of advice therapy, or just give a little bit of, just do something humanitarian for individuals who are afraid, for men, women alike, but anyone, who isn't comfortable with themselves, who are living secret lives, who are, doubling down on not just themselves, but individuals, and not just their health, but the health of others as well. Mental health, physical health, spiritual health, whatever it is. However you see fit, whatever it is that is affecting you in your life, I want to be someone that can help you not have to deal with those things. So, this video essentially is pretty much giving some type of advice. Hopefully there's some advice here. Hopefully there's a message that someone can relate to. As far as to how to handle your sexual preferences, how to handle your sexual urges, how to go about this experience without harm to yourself and or 21. There are far more individuals who are open, who are free, who are accepting of themselves, but there are so many individuals who are not. And I am a huge advocate on talking to trans women about staying shy, staying away, just staying clear in all generality from, down low men, closeted men. And what do I mean by down low or closeted men? If you don't know, these are individuals who don't have the strength to live in their truth. These are the men who go out in this world who use scapegoats, women, children, in order to hide the fact that they have same-sex preferences or have same-sex urgencies, but keep them, behind a closed door, This is what I mean, pretty much, to put it in, layman's terms for individuals who don't know what DL means. But these are these individuals, and like I said, as much shit as I talk, of what you should or should not do, and I always like to say that I always give advice. My advice isn't something that you should take, it's just something that you can use for your own life circumstance when you feel fit to use it. As much shit as I talk, everyone has a heart. Everyone needs help. Everyone deserves help. And if you can be helped, you should be helped. So I want to start off by a prominent question that I get, or that I have gotten from so many individuals. Can you change your attractions from same-sex preferences? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. You can change yourself from anything you want to be in this world. There are so many changes you can make to yourself. There are so many beneficial changes that you can make to yourself. If you feel that a situation isn't benefiting you, if you feel like a lifestyle isn't benefiting you, if you feel that something just is not for you, there is nothing wrong with you changing it. And you can change anything about yourself. All you have to do is apply yourself to the changes that you want to make and go about making those changes the proper way. Now, when it comes to feelings and our urges, there is one thing that I do want to say, and that is, you can change who you are. I, however, do not believe that you can't change the urges and or the feelings that you feel. You have a choice to act on the urges and feelings, yes, but I don't believe that you can change those urges and or feelings because they come with time. I always like to say that life is all about choices, the ABCs of life. Always be choosing to be the best versions of you, to find you, to accept you. And sometimes in life we have urges, sometimes in life we have feelings, sometimes in life we are curious, and for whatever reason you feel as if you can't act on these feelings and our urges, or you feel as if you have to do it secretly. I want to say this to any and everyone who is watching this video. First and foremost, this video is not a video for you to take and just apply it to your life circumstance. Anything that I do is not something that is a rule to be followed by. It's just a piece of guided advice that you can use in order to enhance your life. As someone who's been there, as someone who's done it, as someone who's existed, who's experienced it, everyone's story is different. Everyone's going to walk a life path that is perfectly designed for them. I do want to, however, say that it's better to find you It's better to figure out what it is that you are entertaining with and that you like, that you accept, that you will not accept, before putting yourself in a situation where you harm not only yourself but countless others. I've stated this before and I'll state it again. There are so many men, there are so many women who are living lifestyle choices that they do not prefer because of what society has told them they should do. There are so many people who are following rules and regulations and ideas that are so outdated, that are just so far gone, that they don't resonate with them. And they wonder why their home is in such turmoil. They wonder why their relationship with their spouses isn't the best. It's because so many people are not accepting themselves, and they're wanting to try new things but don't have the confidence and or the strength to do it. First and foremost, if you are someone who has not stepped into this lane yet, find you, figure you out. These are the people who don't have kids. These are the people who have not made it to marriage. These are the people who are possibly just dating, who are engaging, who are still calling themselves straight, but have feelings for the same sex. Find you, sit in you, and do not let the world, contour you to what it's told you you should be. Don't let the world mold you into something that you are not. Second thing I want to say to anyone who is in this predicament, understand this. You can go so many years keeping a secret from your lover, your friends, your family. Eventually it'll come out. You can't hide who you are forever. You can hide the things that you do. Some people do it really, really well, but you can't hide who you are forever. And what's done in the dark always comes to the light. So make sure that you are giving yourself the choice. Notice how I said make sure you are giving yourself the choice to define your life and not let the universe define it for you. Because if you are someone who chooses to define your life for yourself, you are someone who is willing to figure out what it is that you want, figure out who it is that you want, figure out how you want to navigate and move throughout this world. As allowing the universe to step in, God, creator, however you want to see it, spin it, whatever, I don't really care. But if you choose to do that, as opposed to allowing the universe or someone else to take advantage of your life, or not even take advantage, to take control of your life, you are allowing someone to expose you. You are allowing someone to put every single thing that you have done, whether it be good and or bad, out there on the forefront from the streets. And that you do not control the embarrassment. You do not control the narrative. You do not control anything besides your reaction to how you handle it. And I would always tell someone it's better to control the narrative before you have to be forced to be controlled of your reactions. And if you didn't hear that again, because I kind of fucked it up, my computer screen just went out, sorry. But it's better to control your narrative before you are forced to have to control your reaction. Like, let me say that again, because I kind of really did mess it up. That's going to go over somebody's head. When I say it's better to control your narrative before you have to control your reaction, use this for example. Wouldn't you rather be able to tell someone how you are, how you accept, how you want to live your life, the ways that you go about living your life, as opposed to having to have someone tell you how you did them wrong by finding out a dirty secret as such? Where then you are forced to control how you react to such news that was put out. I say it's better to be able to tell someone, hey, I'm bisexual, hey, I'm gay, hey, I'm X, Y, and or Z, than having to defend yourself to the world because you did X, Y, and or Z behind X, Y, and or Z's back. You understand? Because then, like I said, you aren't being able to control the narrative of the situation. All you can control is your reaction to the situation that has been dealt to you, instead of dealing the situation. Creating a safe space for most men is something that is damn near impossible, because there's so much toxicity, and I probably said that wrong, but there's so much toxic masculinity in the world where men feel as if they have to be in charge. Men feel as if they have to be in control. They have to own something. They have to stand in front of something and be like, this is mine, And that's just not what a man really is, I'm not sure how it is in other cultures, but I know in the black culture, being anything but a straight man, knocking down hella women, having babies and things of that nature, being a rapper or a football player or a basketball player, being anything but is kind of one of those things that's kind of looked down upon, especially being black, gay, and trans, I'm a triple fucking whammy. But I'll stand here and I will always say that I'm stronger than any man who dribbles a ball. I'm stronger than any man who, goes on the football fields and throws that bitch 100 yards. I'm stronger than any man who stands next to a woman, holds her legs open while she's giving birth, but goes behind her back and sleeps with another woman and has like three or four different children. I'm stronger than any of these men because I have something that they don't, and that's inner strength. You can portray outer strength all day, every day, but if you don't have the inner strength to stand in front of the world and be who you are you really a man? Are you really a man if you're hiding who you are because the world told you that it's wrong? Are you really a man if you're not standing in your truth because the world told you that you aren't accepted? Are you really a man if you can actually stand in yourself and do all of these things that you judge everybody else for? You can judge everybody else for all of these things that you do and stand in yourself and sleep great at night and feel good about yourself knowing that you are not yourself doing the right thing. You are not living in your truth. You are not doing right by your wives, your children, your friends, your family, your peers. Can you really call yourself a man? So the toxic masculinity has to be broken down where men have a place where they can cry, where they can say how they feel, where they can express themselves without having to feel weak, without having to feel lesser than, without having to feel like their masculinity was taken away from them because it's not normal. Nothing in this world is normal. Anything that anyone told you is normal is not. You having to be the provider, the sole provider, is not normal. You having to build things and do all of these extravagant things in order to be seen and accepted and or loved is not normal. You do not have to go above and beyond in order to be loved. You do not have to go above and beyond to be accepted and or seen as a man. You literally have to show up and stand in you. Express yourself. Let people know you have feelings. Let people know who the hell you are, but do it with integrity. Do it with truth. Do it with honesty. And many people don't have the strength to do that. Why? Because the world told them that they can't. And because the world told you that you can't do something, that the world told you that if you shed a tear, the world told you if you do this, if you do that, if you do whatever, then you are lesser than a man. You need to define what a man is to you. Don't let the world define what being a man is. You define what being a man is. And you can't sit over here and say you define it. No, bitch, trust me, I defined it. I looked it up, I tried to, I lived it, didn't like it, didn't want to do it, okay? But I'm letting you know because you're here, you're sitting here, you're curious, you're questioning, you got questions, and I got answers, Maybe it might not be the answers you want, but it's the answers for someone, So find you, stand in you, define what being a man is to you so that the world doesn't define it for you. That way you aren't as lost. That way you aren't as hurt. That way you aren't as afraid, because no real man is afraid. Understand the concept of real love, real friends, real anything, to be quite honest with you, just based off the way that most men are raised. And I can say this because I was raised a certain way. I was raised to believe a certain thing. I was raised to see life a certain way, and I completely knocked all that shit out the window. It's like, you know what, I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really fucking with that. And existing and living the way that I have has taught me a few things. It's taught me that men are not taught how to love. Men are not taught to accept love. Men are honestly taught to be in... I'm going to put it completely honest and blunt. Men are really taught to be masters. Men are taught to be, owners. Men are taught to believe that they can not necessarily do no wrong, but it's their way or no other way. In a sense, men are taught that they are stronger than any and every other species on earth, and that is just not true. Individuals today do not have a place where they have proper support, where they have real honest individuals where they can talk to, express themselves, and just be completely open and honest. And I believe that every single individual should find a safe space. If you are watching this video, you should find a safe space where you can listen to someone, where you can talk to someone, where you can engage with someone to gain a better understanding about you, about life, about acceptance, about just the way the world is. I like to say there's nothing worse than someone like me engaging with someone who isn't as confident, who isn't as strong to stand in themselves, and then later finding this out and having to also find out that someone blames you for the way that they feel. Let's just clear that up right quick. No one can make you and or trick you into doing anything. If you have feelings, if you have urges, if you have thoughts, these are yours. They came from you. No one planted that bug, no one planted that seed, especially if this is something that is constant on your heart. And when I say constant on your heart, this is something that you cannot hide from. This is something that you cannot run from. There are so many people who hate themselves, who, reject themselves, who harm themselves because of the feelings that they have. And And to that, I can't really give anyone advice as to why you would harm yourself because of the feelings that you have. It's just really weird, that you let. It's not weird, lies. It's hurtful that many people can allow society to make them feel like they are not good enough because of the way that they feel, so that they feel they need to harm themselves in order to not longer be here instead of standing strong within themselves. It's very hurtful when situations like that arise. But it's also hurtful when you have individuals who blame, who pick, who attack because they have these feelings and urges and do not understand them, so they choose another way to express it, with rage and with our anger. It's never okay to blame someone for how you feel, for the way your life has turned out, for the actions that you partake in. No one, like I said, no one's tricking you. There are individuals who can trick you. There are individuals who will trick you. So you have to be careful and you have to be mindful of those individuals. But for the most part, no one's trying to trick you. No one's trying to coerce you. No one's trying to mold you into something that you are not. Just like you're watching this video, you're watching it because you wanted to watch it. You came here because you were curious. Just like you got on those chat lines. Just like you went and met that person. Just like you went and had that experience. Don't blame someone for an experience that you wanted to partake in if you have partaken in an experience. And if you are thinking about partaking in an experience, I always say this: make sure you do your research on any and everyone that you are engaging with, sleeping with, talking to, whatever, meeting, however you seem fit to do it. Because the world is negative. The world is a very dark place, and you can put yourself in predicament that could bring you more harm than good because you do not know. So make sure that you are aware of that for outsiders, but also make sure you are aware of yourself so that you aren't angry after the experience is over. If you choose to have the experience, make sure that you aren't blaming. Make sure that you aren't, perpetrating this idea that you were coerced. Because I'm going to be completely honest, 9 times out of 10 there isn't a trans woman out here who's really trying to coerce you into anything, when most of the times men like you come to women like us for whatever reason. However, it's just not. I can't really tell you much. I can't really give you everything, and I'm really not in a position to. So many people's lives are different. Everyone's circumstance has a different story. What I can tell you is this, pretty much to sum it up. If you got something, great. If you didn't, that's fine too. But if you don't take anything from this video, make sure you take this away. How you handle people is very important. But most importantly, how you handle yourself. You have to understand that karma in life is real. And sometimes karma is you sitting within yourself miserable in a situation that you do not want to be in. You could have someone who has all of the money in the world. You could have someone literally providing for you every single thing in the world. But if you aren't happy with who you are and where you are in life, it will forever be miserable. AKA Bruce/Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, we all saw that show. We all saw the Kardashians. If you didn't, I suggest you go back on YouTube and see just how miserable Bruce Jenner was living with Kris Jenner. I'm telling you now, life will literally place you in situations where you are accepting less because you are not accepting who you are. Life will put you in positions where you are literally placing yourself to take on responsibilities that are not yours because you are not standing in your truth. It's better to stand in your truth now than have to defend your truth later. Don't ever give anyone the power to dictate your life narrative. Don't ever give anyone the power to make you the bad guy in a situation where you have a choice to literally stand up and stand for you. Don't ever give anyone the power to take from you the one thing that you have about yourself, and that is your essence. And the minute that you are shamed for what you like by someone because you decided to keep it a secret, because you decided to hide, because you decided to be conniving, sneaky, undermining, just things that you don't have to be, just don't give anyone that power. Always be choosing to take your power. Always be choosing to accept you. Always be choosing to love you. Always be choosing to find a safe place where you can express you as an individual. Male, woman, child, I don't give a damn who you are. I don't give a damn what you're going through. I don't give a damn how many kids you got. I don't give a damn if the bitch you laying with at home is like one of the most craziest bitches in the goddamn world. Find you a safe place where you can actually be with you, where you don't have to worry about all of the things that life, home, is going to throw you. And if you are in a situation where you feel you are stuck, if you are in a situation where you feel unhappy, if you are in a situation where you feel as if you are not giving yourself what it is that you need, if you are not taking care of you, then take a step back. I'm not saying leave any situation. Take a step back. Figure out what is important to you. Figure out the things that you have created in life, and figure out what it is that you need to take moving further with you in life. And that is self and the responsibilities that you have brought into this world. And those are for the individuals with kids, and you have responsibilities now, so you have to take on the responsibilities. But for most people, well, not most people, but for a lot of people, just take yourself out of a situation. Take a minute and look at the bigger picture and figure out what it is that you want out of life for yourself. Not what society wants you to have out of life. Not what your mom wants you to have. Not what your daddy wants you to have. Your sister, your brother, your friends, your family, your partner. Just you. And once you're able to sit there and figure out what it is that just you want, then you can make the proper decisions, make the proper steps in order to move in the right way. Like I said, always be choosing to be the best version of you. Find you, accept you, love you, and be at peace. And until next time,